I'm a former patient. I had 5 micro hand improvement surgeries. Best way to explain it is just by looking at my hands, actually. So in the beginning, when I was born, I didn't have any of my 4 fingers here grow properly. They kind of were like little stubs, almost like knuckles. And then my thumb here, most of it was maybe, you know, just a hair over an inch long. And the doctors could never really guess what it was. It was just a genetic birth defect, because I'm an identical twin, and he was healthy when he was born, you know, no defects or anything. So they really never were able to narrow it down. And about age 4, my grandmother, she introduced my parents to Shriners Hospital for Children and said that there's a pediatric unit out in Los Angeles. And so my parents put in all the information and they flew me out for a consultation, and they felt that I was a quality candidate. And yeah, so we went from there, and that's how I kind of basically began my path to becoming a patient for Shriners Hospital. So when I first got there, I was really young. I don't remember much of it, but from the recollections of what my parents told me when we went on these trips was that they looked at my hand and they knew that there was the ability to do a micro hand improvement and a hand transplant with like tendons or ligaments. And so what they did was they took my index toe, which is the toe right by your big toe. They took that one from my left foot and put it here, and then they put the right one, it was supposed to be here originally, but there were some complications in my first surgery, ended up hemorrhaging a bit amount of blood, and this one died. And so my second surgery actually was them removing the toe that didn't make it, and then they did a skin graft to help improve this area of my hand. But because my ligaments had grown fully up to those little stubs, I had functioning tendons here like you would on a regular hand, but they just didn't have any movement to them, so they attached them to this one to help create some stabilization. So my first 2 surgeries was getting the 2 toes on, and then the second surgery was them removing that toe after the complications from the first surgery. Those were the first 2 surgeries. I had them around, I want to say I was age 5 or 6. I can never remember when my dad tells me. Fast forward, I was 9 years old, and my thumb, because it's not opposable like my right thumb, this upper part really didn't have a lot of cartilage to hold the joint up, and it was constantly falling over, just hanging there. And so what they did with the third surgery was they took a piece of my ankle down below here and helped stabilize it there temporarily until, you know, I came of age or hit puberty. And that was only temporary. They said it was going to last for a couple of years, but as my body started to develop, there was going to be a point where it wouldn't hold anymore. And so that third surgery was a temporary fix just to help me get through. And then after that third surgery, I was a freshman in high school. It was St. Patrick's Day actually when I had the surgery. They took the old bone and cartilage out that wasn't holding together anymore. And what they did was that they grabbed a piece of my pelvis and put it there, and then put a metal rod through my thumb that is there permanently now. And that has kept my thumb stable, as you can, you know, see when you're looking at it. And so yeah, that was the 4th surgery, just to help create a bunch of stabilization and more, you know, stronger mobility as I move forward. My last surgery, which was my 5th, what they did, you can't really see the scars as well anymore, but there and there, what they took out was some extra tendons here and wrapped it at the anchor point of where my thumb starts to go and over onto my wrist side here, so that when I moved my wrist, it would help close the grip. Their ultimate goal for me was always to try to at least pinch, and that helped a ton in terms of just creating more grip and actually the ability to hold things, you know, without the need of a hook or any extra help maybe from my right hand. And yeah, so those were my 5 surgeries. Huge benefit in my life. I don't think I'd be anywhere near where I am today if it wasn't for what Shriners did for me and what they do for just children all across, you know, the country and the world. They are, you know, a huge impact and a great benefit to society. And without them, I don't think there's people like me living what we feel is a normal life to this day. The ability to type and write and move things around and do stuff, you know, I don't have that without Shriners and their generosity in, you know, doing my type of surgery. I mean, the doctor I had, Dr. Neil Jones, who he's my hero to this day. I mean, I'm not I don't do everything I do if it wasn't for his generosity. Be sure to tune in to the 2022 East-West Shrine game. Yours truly, William McLaughlin, will be on play-by-play. Alongside me is going to be Kyle Dodds handling the color commentary. EO Live TV this year is really excited to bring a more in-depth broadcast for the second year in a row. We got a great crew, and we're just so excited that, you know, the Shrine Committee wanted us to be a part of this. It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait for us to showcase these athletes and all their great skill sets. But again, I just want to say thank you to Shrine Committee for what they're doing in sponsoring the Shrine Bowl. This has always been a fun event for not only the parents, but also for the athletes. And for those of us that are former patients of Shriners Hospital for Children, it means the world when we get to educate, or at least the public gets to learn more about what Shriners does for the children, not only in the United States, but around the world. So it's a lot of fun. I'm excited, and I can't wait for everybody to tune in and catch some great football.